Former Beatle Paul McCartney made it through the second night of his concert stop here in Pittsburgh despite a health problem that came to light earlier today. Bonnie Barron is over at the Civic Arena now with the story. Bonnie?
Ray, Paul McCartney was reportedly treated at his hotel room for either the flu or a sore throat, or probably both, if he's got our kind of flu bug. Dr. Joseph Mulvihill of Regent Square was the attending chiropractor who told me earlier today by phone that McCartney was doing super but would not elaborate on any further details. Whatever McCartney is suffering from, he sure didn't share the suffering with his audience. As Paul McCartney's world tour made 2 stops in Pittsburgh, among the many who caught his act may have been an unwelcome visitor, the flu bug. Through 2 sold-out energetic performances, a raspy throat nagged McCartney's high notes. But judging by tonight's crowd, slightly rowdier than last night's, the overall show was the historic heartstopper this over 30 crowd had hoped for. What follows may be more good news for these fans. A live album and film from this tour, and possibly a studio album with this band.
I think we're the band at the moment. If there's going to be another album done, I'm sure we'll get, we'll be the band he takes in, and, first sort of refusal, which will be great. But I don't think we'll get around to it this year. Another, like fresh material.
McCartney, who's been charming audiences for more than a quarter of a decade. And tonight is opening night at the Worcester Centrum for Paul McCartney. That's where we also find News 7's arts and entertainment reporter, Debbie Emblem. How's the show, Debbie?
Well, Mark, I've been grinning ever since I got here. The show is far, far better than I expected it to be, as a matter of fact. It's pretty quiet right now. The fans left about 10:20, but I think all in all, you could say that it might just turn out to be one of the very best concerts of the year. They did a set from the Beatles, and that particularly had the crowd on their feet tonight. A really wonderful, nostalgic kind of night. I was reflecting back to my childhood when I used to have this Paul McCartney Beatles doll, so that tells you the mindset we're all in tonight. At age 47, McCartney really still can kick out the jams.
Fell, 48 hours camera crews rolled, and when McCartney saw what she had gone through, he came through with an all-expense-paid trip to meet him in Worcester today. And after 4 hours in the air, time in and out of limos, and a stay at a local hotel, the moment she had been waiting for 26 years finally happened.
I've heard all about you.
I've heard a lot about you, too.
How you doing, babe? All right? Yeah, nice to see you. Hey, you're the star of the show I had.
And that she was. For tonight, Joy was the center of attention.
Look, you're going to have to excuse us for a couple of minutes because we're going to take a couple of private moments here.
And how were those private moments?
He's everything I expected him to be. He's nice, he's fun, he's sweet.
But it wasn't just Joy who felt that way, because for Paul, the night was special too.
So it's great. It's really nice, it's nice to be, I kind of feel like an elder brother or a brother, and I can... That's what Joy said. She felt like she's kind of known me for a long time. There's a funny little relationship you get, with nice friends.
And enjoy Wah.
And the doors will be opening in just about an hour down here at Riverfront Coliseum. Earlier this afternoon, Paul McCartney's plane did land at Greater Cincinnati Airport. And he's in the building right now. They've already had a sound check, and that's good news for the concert goers because it looks like this show will start on time, a rarity in concert history anywhere.
Sellout crowd at Riverfront Coliseum are probably talking non-stop about Paul McCartney today. The former Beatle brought his world tour to Cincinnati, and judging from the reaction of his many fans, it was a night to remember. News 5's John Lennon got a chance to interview McCartney before the show, and he spent some time backstage as well. Quite a thrill.
We got to talk to band members, and then McCartney came by, walking by after a sound check on stage, and we got in a couple of questions about his voice, his music, a possible reunion with George Harrison and Ringo Starr. Here's part of what he had to say about an hour or so before the big show.
I'm sure I'll get back together with George and Ringo and play some music, but everyone then says, oh, it's a Beatles reunion, and obviously without John there could never be that kind of thing. But I'm sure we'll get back together and play some music some point.
It's been a hard day's night.
Anyone who remembers the excitement McCartney and the Beatles created in the 1960s will be happy to hear that. It would be the kind of thing that gives a sense of time and history and moment.
I gotta know.
At this moment, McCartney and his specially formed World Tour band are going hell for leather, as they put it, pushing Paul's new material like last night's opener, Figure of Eight. But much of the show features many of the songs that makes McCartney special.
A lot of them we never toured with. A lot of them we just recorded, and by the time we were ready to kind of tour with them, we'd broken up as a touring band and we're just recording. So things like Hey Jude and Sgt. Pepper and Fool on the Hill are like brand new songs to me. It's very nice. No, all I've heard mainly is through the press. I've heard it all. I haven't actually spoken to him about it at all, so that's always dangerous. But somebody asked George, will there be a Beatles reunion? And he said, no, not as long as John Lennon's dead. It's a fairly pointed, definite remark. And I think, that's true, obviously, is that you know, it's impossible to do. But I wouldn't rule out the fact that maybe George, me, and Ringo might get together and play some music somewhere quietly. But it certainly won't happen like as publicly as the Grammys or somewhere. We'd have to get to know each other before that, It's been a long time. But I think, the actual reunion question is a no-no. But anything else might happen. We've got a film project we've been talking about for a long time that might be something we could get together on.
Well, if you couldn't go, we're going to take you to the Paul McCartney concert next. If you couldn't be there, here's a look at Paul McCartney in concert. Nightline's coming your way next, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
An exciting time in downtown Atlanta tonight as Paul McCartney played the first of his 2 sold-out shows here at the Omni. As News at 10's Lee Green witnessed, when a show business legend like McCartney comes to town, it's not just a concert, it's an event.
McCartney quickly put to rest fears that his voice was anything other than strong.
Sure. Come on, Lynn, sit down, babe.
Say it all.
Come on. Sit down with it. Hi, Patrick. Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to see you.
He is 47 years old on what Atlanta promoters say is the biggest tour to hit town in 20 years.
You get real little ones and real old ones, as well as the main concert audience, which is kind of fascinating. And the technology, of course. Now, you've got 50 tons of equipment or whatever you got out there.
In an exclusive interview with Action News, Paul and Linda McCartney told us even they are surprised at the concert response.
Proves you're getting to all the people. It's interesting.
Actually, you say biggest surprise when I think of it now that I've had time to think about that question, which I sort of said that. Yeah. I think the fact the Berlin Wall's come down, a lot of peaceful, really things we never thought would happen in our time,